So, growing up, I knew of God and kind of who he was and everything, but I didn't really know what any of that meant. My dad ended up committing to the Mormon church and getting baptized there. And I would go to church with him sometimes, but I never understood anything they were saying. Coming in freshman year, I just kind of didn't really know much. I wanted to be closer to God and I wanted to know more, but I didn't know any of what that meant.
Going into the year, I think I was probably just as nervous as I was my first year, just because I had a couple friends at Eastern, but I wouldn't say I had a community.
My roommate came to me and was like, "Oh, let's go to capture the flag," and I was like, I don't know if I'll really participate.
I'm not super coordinated or athletic, so I feel I was okay, in the dark, running, we'll see how this works out.
So we went down there with the intentions of just watching and seeing what it was really like, and maybe if there was a second game, we'll play.
Once I got there and started actually just introducing myself to people, it wasn't it wasn't that bad at all. I was like, you know what, if I can be someone that they feel actually cares about them and is reaching out, then good, I really want that. So
our roommates came up to me and was like, "Hey, you guys should actually play, not just sit there and watch." So we decided to play, and then they invited us to come play games and have cookies. And so me and my roommate just decided to go because why not? There's nothing else to do.
And so Morgan and her roommate came back, and I remember the first time we really talked was on the way back, walking back to the house.
Yeah.
And I was just asking her about where are you from? And I was like, "Oh, Alfredo."
Yeah.
I recognized where that was, and she knew where Kashmir was, so we were just chatting. And I feel as we kept talking, I was like, "Oh, I just really like this girl. She's so sweet." And I just felt there's something about her.
I started to become more curious, I guess, when Danny texted me and was just "Hey, come to crew with me this night." And then I got there and it kind of opened my eyes, this is more than just going and hanging out with friends on a Wednesday night.
It was a big step to say "Hey, let's go to coffee, my discipler Stephanie's coming, and we're just gonna talk about your faith."
When we went to Starbucks, just hearing her story and hearing everything behind it just kind of opened me up and was just well, I want to share my story too. I had people around me who were really involved, but never really helped me or told me what any of that meant. When we went through the booklet, I just realized this is so much more than just becoming too close to what you think is there, because it's more you know what's there and you know for a fact you want to be closer to it.
Even after we went over the whole gospel, I think that I realized just you know what, she's open to this. I could tell her heart was just soft to the spirit.
And then winter conference, it was a lot for me, just because I never really have taken a step in faith ever, and so I decided if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it now.
Then when we got to crew winter conference, I definitely asked her again. I was do you feel you have prayed to accept that? Do you feel Jesus is the king of your life?
And when we were sitting there the last night of crew conference, it kind of all hit me, and I was kind of a mess because I was crying a lot.
She's yes, and she just expressed to me about how she realized that the unconditional love she was seeking was from the Lord.
I realized I've been loved my whole life, and God is there and he's good and everything about him is right.
I wanted it to be a year of growing, that's what I desired. I want to grow my own faith with the Lord. I want to help others. Yeah, just hear the gospel. And
through our friendship, God has shown me it's okay to ask anyone questions, and it's okay even if you're wrong sometimes, because no one's gonna know everything
Yeah.
ever. We're so happy, like, being close to God and everything, and I just want everyone else to feel this happy.
I don't feel like it was me that led her to him. I feel like he both led us to each other, and like he just used me to lead her to him.